Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NFL video. Today we're going to cover the Thursday slate. We did pretty good on the Monday slate, and I have made a lot of chalky plays over the weekend, you guys, that have really built up my bankroll. So I had an incredible week 4, went up about 20 units on the player props, so that was awesome. I'm always happy to share those chalky plays with you, but people don't seem that interested in them, so I like to just try and give out mostly my regular line plays, maybe a couple of alt line plays, which I do have one of those for you today. So let's jump into that. All right, you guys. So quick review of the Monday slate. I gave you Jamar Chase over 7.5 targets as a lean, and that did hit barely with 8. And then I gave you Jalen Waddle over 3.5 receptions as an alt line, and that did not hit. He only had 3, so he hooked us there on that one. And I did play those, but I told you, and mostly on these standalone slates, I do only play like half a unit to a unit. If there's a promo on it, maybe I play that as well. But I don't put a lot of money on these single game slates most of the time because I feel like the edges we can attack are more in the large Sunday slates where things don't get moved as fast. And then on the game bets, I didn't have any official game bets in this game. Oh, wait, I think I did have the Jets on the over with Miami, and that did hit. But the Jets did not keep that one close. I did expect them to win that one, and they did not. And then the Bengals, I expected them to get completely destroyed by Denver, and that is what happened. And so much so that they didn't even reach the over for me. But I didn't bet on that. All right, so looking at the preview, in the preview video, I was on the 49ers when the spread was 3.5. Now the spread is 7. I'm still on the 49ers because 7 is a lot to cover. I think the LA Rams are good enough to do it, but I don't think that they're going to be like Sean McVay is not really the type of coach to like lay it on thick if they're up. They just want to win the game. So I do think the back door's open there for the San Francisco 49ers to just cover the spread. But I haven't, there's not really a doubt in my mind that the Rams are going to win this game now with all of the injuries that the 49ers have sustained. So no changes to any of this. I did still like the under. I did bet on the under when it was 47.5. It's now only 46.5, so you could still hit the under, and I still think that's a good play. All right, this one's going to be a surprise to people, but all of the apps are giving us Puka Nacua promos, and so that is like alarm bells in my head saying that we should not bet on Puka Nacua this week. He's obviously a great player, amazing, really. And I don't mind betting on him normally. It's just with all of those apps giving us these Puka Nacua promos, I'm thinking the ball might be going somewhere else. And so I did a little bit of a deep dive on Devontae Adams. I like his line at 54.5. It's a little bit high because he's going to probably need to catch 3 balls to get there. His catches are usually a little bit longer. So you could go with his longest reception or like yardage on his first 2 receptions. I probably will have a side bet on, how many yards he'll get on his first 2 receptions, which is, I think, only available on Prize Picks. But I like Devontae Adams here in this spot because he's over 75% of the time this year so far against all teams. He's over 80% of the time against the 49ers in his career. And those 4 out of the 5 times that he went over were all over 100 yards. Obviously, those were with different teams. That was once on the Raiders and 4 times with Green Bay. And, he's a younger player back then, obviously, as well. But I just love the spot. Now, if you look at the coverage, like the 49ers are technically ranked pretty high at guarding wide receivers, like outside wide receivers like this. And yet, I don't know why, because JSN went over this number, which I know he works out of the slot quite often a lot too. Marvin Harrison went over this number. Well, not this number, but his number. But it was this number too. And I think Rashid Shaheed went over this number as well on the outside. So I don't know why Devontae can't also do this here. I think he will go over this number. I don't know by how much, but I really do like it here. The other player I'm super in on is Kyren Williams. But here's the problem. Like, he's clearly been losing snap share to Blake Corum, and especially in situations where Kyren is not needed. Like, he's lost some goal line carries to Blake Corum. He's lost some like late game carries to Blake Corum. So if the Rams end up blowing, these guys out of the water, then maybe Corum gets a lot more work. But I think that would be partially due to Kyren Williams having a good game. I like the lowered line on his combo yards here. So he's gone over this, over 100% of the time in head-to-head games over the past 3 head-to-heads. and he's over 100% of the time this year against all teams. So I wanted to make this one a little bit safe. I wouldn't blame you at all if you just went in on his 69.5 rush yard line. I think that's a good play. I'm wary of of Blake Corum taking more and more of his snap share as the game goes on, especially if this game ends up being a blowout. I think that could happen. So that's my worry there. So I want to go with this lowered line on Kyren, but I do like Kyren in this spot. I think he's a great play in fantasy football this week. All right, and then I have a lean on Brian Robinson Jr., kind of a weird one, but this one popped up for me. He's over 100% of the time this season, over 16.5 rushing yards. And if they end up getting blown out, he may get all the carries because they might completely take Christian McCaffrey out of the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this is a nice play, but I don't think it's like a smash spot for him. Obviously, we don't even know what his role is going to be in this game. He could have 3 carries. He could have 6 carries. He could have 9 carries. I mean, really, there's just so many outcomes here for Brian Robinson Jr., but he's clearly been efficient with the carries that he's received so far. So that's why I want to bet on it. It is just a lean, so it will count towards our leans record and not towards the best bets record, which our leans record is actually better than our best bets record right now. So take that for what it's worth. So here is the summary of the bets for Thursday. I've already bet on San Francisco at the Rams under 47.5 as a game bet. Put a half unit on that. And then the other best bet is Devontae Adams over 54.5 receiving yards. So since we only have 2 best bets, any commenter on this video will automatically be entered in to the cash prize giveaway if those 2 best bets hit. But I also do have a lean for you, Brian Robinson Jr. over 16.5 rush yards, and then an alt line for you, Kyren Williams over 59.5 combo yards. Let me know down in the comments, what other plays you are liking in this game. Obviously, the 49ers, we don't know who's going to be on the field for receivers yet, so a lot of their props are not up. So also keep your eye on the pinned comment or on my X. I'll try and post it there if I have any added plays. And then I do want to tell you guys I am going out of town for about 2 weeks here. I'm going to try my best to do videos, whenever I can. I might not hit every single slate. I might miss some. I will probably still at least try to do a post at least on YouTube and maybe on X saying kind of my leans, but there may or may not be a video for every single day like there usually is. So just wanted to let you know. All right, thanks guys.